My name's Todd Bowlesby and I'm a solution architect for Armanino. Today I'm going to show you a brief overview of Sage Intacct's Dynamic Allocations application. The first thing we need to do is create an account allocation definition. You can create as many definitions as needed by your organization. Here we see that I have two set up in my system. Let's look at my fringe benefits allocation. The account allocation definition is comprised of the rationale, dimension treatment, source pool, basis, and target entry sections. In the rationale area, we give it an ID and description, we can attach supporting documentation, and there's ample space to include a good description of the methodology used for the allocation. The dimension treatment section is where we tell the system whether the allocation applies to a single entity or multiple entities and how each dimension is treated. Either it's not considered, we're simply preserving the values, or the dimension is actually the focus of the allocation. For example, we can see that the program dimension is the focus of this allocation, while other dimensions are either not considered or their values are being preserved. Next is the source pool section. We point the allocation to the appropriate accounts using account groups. If you have only one account, you simply create an account group that contains only one account. We tell the system in percentage format how much of the source pool we want to allocate and what accounting books we want to pull the information from. In addition to the standard accrual book, we can pull from any of our user-defined books. We then tell it what period this allocation is to pull from, which can be any period of our choosing, define how we want it to handle true-ups, and finally we can filter by any of our dimensions. In this case, you can see that we're only focusing on our general fund and looking at our shared program with the intention of reallocating everything coded to our shared program across the other appropriate programs. The next step is to define the basis with which we want the system to calculate the allocation. We can base the allocations either on financial account data, perhaps revenue, or statistical data such as FTEs, square footage, and the like. As with the source pool, we use account groups to tell the system which GL or statistical accounts to consider in the allocation. The data gathered can be accumulated either based on activity or an overall ending balance. Again, as with the source pool section above, we can pull data from any of our accounting books. We finish up by determining which period we're interested in and by filtering any of our dimensions. In this case, the allocation will only look at my general fund. Last, we tell the system where we want our target entry to go. The cool thing is you can create a user-defined book and journal to place the information, which allows for some very nice reporting. We'll look at how this is used a bit later. Tell it the GL account, how you'd like to handle reversing the source pool, and any dimension overrides, and you're all set. Next, you'll want to generate your allocation. You tell it the GL posting date, the as of date, give your email address so it can let you know if there's any issues, and then you can run your allocation either individually or optionally you can create allocation groups. These not only allow you to group your allocations, but you can create step allocations where you process one allocation and then another afterwards that may be based on the previous. Now, while you can certainly run your allocations manually, in most cases we see that organizations wish to set up recurring allocations based on schedules to automate the process. In this case, you give the schedule a name, tell it the journal entry start date, whether there's an ending date, whether you want it to run by day, week, month, or year, and what cadence you'd like it to run. Here, I've selected every month. Just like with the manual allocation run, we can choose to run a single allocation or a group of allocations. Okay, let's take a look at that report I mentioned previously. Because we have the ability to create a specific allocations book and related journal, we can build reports that show what our numbers look like before and after the allocation. Even better, we can drill down. Here, showing the GL report and drilling into the related journal entry. We can see that our allocation reversed the appropriate amounts out of the shared program and allocated them across our overall programs. If anyone has a question, they can even drill into the allocation definition, where they can see the rationale and related attachments, the source pool calculation, the basis calculation, and ultimately the dynamic split calculation and related dynamically created percentages. Well, I hope this sheds some light on Sage Intacct's dynamic allocations application for you. Thank you for watching and have a great day.